Hey everybody, and welcome to day 2 of my 5-day series of 5 minutes to grieve. And today I'm going to look at the grief underneath. And just before I talk about that, just a very quick recap of yesterday's video, which was about the mask. And we were talking about how it is that nearly everybody wears a mask, and the mask that you see, whether that is the exuberance, the happiness, the smiley face, the makeup, the bravado, the humor, whatever it is that people have as their front, often hides or is a mask to what lies beneath. So I just want to talk a little bit about the grief underneath. So I've just written it here so you can really see the grief is underneath. And what I mean by that is the feelings of grief. Now, there's a real misconception about grief, and that people automatically think that grief means bereavement. It doesn't. Grief is about all loss. And it's about the feelings that happen after that that you're not allowed to have, which is why I've called this series the 5 minutes to grief, because literally you've probably got about 5 minutes to talk about something before someone changes the subject or talks about themselves or tells you to focus on something good. Now, whilst those things are long term, we want to help people, so we say those things, and it's counterintuitive to actually stop and let people have their feelings and to stay with them when they feel sad rather than change how they feel. But what I mean by the grief is underneath is that often people will express that they are feeling sad, or they're feeling a bit low, they're feeling lost, they're lonely, or maybe they're angry, or maybe there's a whole set of feelings that people might be expressing how they feel. And when we take those feelings, if we just look underneath the presenting feelings, grief lies at the heart of nearly every feeling underneath that. And what we mean by grief is the feelings that you have about all loss. The loss can be a recent loss, so you can actually realize, oh yes, that happened yesterday, or that happened last week, of course I feel sad. Or, as is quite often the case, the grief or the feelings of sadness, feeling sad and low, maybe you can't sleep, maybe you can't eat very much, or you want to eat all the time, your energy levels are much reduced. So those set of feelings, wanting to cry all the time or not cry all the time, those set of the feelings are the ones that we're talking about. They might have happened a long time ago. It might have been 6 months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or even from childhood. But because they happened a long time ago, and we are taught that time heals us, which it doesn't, by the way, we just presume it has because it happened a while ago, and we're told so often that time heals us that we believe it to be true. But when time has passed and then a different set of feelings comes in, such as apathy, lethargy, feeling less motivated, being on a bit of a hamster wheel of trial and feeling okay and then not feeling okay, and then trying again and feeling okay and then not feeling okay, or just general sadness. We don't attribute those current feelings to something that happened in our past, but they are linked. They are very much linked together, because all grief accumulates, and it doesn't accumulate separately. It accumulates on top of each other, so that you end up in your current circumstances with the whole set of feelings that you have about what has gone on in your life prior to now. You just don't think it is, because you've presumed that time has healed you. And also what we do is we minimize our losses. We kind of dismiss it and say, oh, well, that was nothing. I know somebody that's had much worse than me. Or with time and different perspective, we look back and we say, oh, but it was nothing, it's okay. Whereas in fact, at the time it was. And with the accumulation of all the other things that you've gone through on top of that or before that, you get to the point where you are sitting with the sum total of everything that you've gone through. So the grief is underneath all of those feelings that you may currently have, whether you've tried therapy, whether you've tried counseling, whether you've tried positive affirmations, whether you've tried hypnotherapy, whether you've tried whatever it is that you've tried, maybe you still don't feel the way you know you want to. It is because grief lies underneath that. And it is only when you deal and tackle with that underlying grief that things can actually start to truly change for the first time in your life. And you will have natural cycles of sadness, but you won't stay in that. When you recover from grief, you can be consistently okay and consistently neutral and content and peaceful. That is what recovery from grief looks like. So just remember, if you're feeling anything that's a little bit less than as you want to, and as you know you should be feeling, and you should be consistently okay, that grief is probably underneath that, and that there is something you can do about it. But awareness is the first step to recovery. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll be checking in again tomorrow with another video. Thanks, bye.